Do I have everybody's attention now?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. What's popping, guys? Welcome to ZeerTalks Wrestling and welcome to the Monday Night Raw reaction for February 16th, 2026. We're here to talk about a good amount of things. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this show, to be honest. I'm going to have to ask you guys to let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below because I did a video talking about the WrestleMania plans. And I have to ask, have they started to progress something for Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania? I guess we'll see as we talk about this show, right? But before we begin, you know exactly what to do. Subscribe, press alarm bells, future content notifications, like, comment your way, go check socials, and hope you're good wherever you are. I say we begin. Also, go check ZeerTalks Football and FCB. Now, in the description down below. Stephanie had a lot to say about Liv Morgan. She absolutely cooked the living hell out of her to the point she even cried. Wow. Listen, man, there's levels to this game, blood. There's levels to this game. Hold up. Hold up, blood. Hold up. So we're going to keep this for the duration of this video. You know what I mean? Because it's just entertaining to watch, you know? All the Liv fans cry more. Oh, and by the way, this is good storytelling if you want Liv to win the championship. So you should actually be happy that this happened. Anyway, we'll get to that later. But I just found it funny. I found it funny. Let's talk about the show as a whole, guys. And I'm gonna try to get to go through this as quick as I can. We kicked off Raw with the Usos. You know, they made their entrance and they were whatever. And it got interrupted by Paul Heyman, like, you know, excuse me, blah blah blah, and he's just complaining. And then he starts complaining about the whole mystery mask guy was attacking Austin Theory last Monday night during the qualifier match, in which LA Knight ended up winning, you know, and and then it led to Adam Pearce interrupting, and then he's trying to say, let's talk about this somewhere else. Let's not do this again. Blah 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 blah. Paul Heyman's like, no. Austin Theory's like, well, Austin Theory was very passionate in that segment because he was the one that got screwed that match, and obviously, man had things to say about Adam Pearce costing him that match, and Adam Pearce basically responded, well, if it wasn't for Logan Paul and Bronson Reed interfering, you know, maybe we would have been able to help deal with that guy. So there you go. So he did debunk that one, you know. And then obviously what happened afterwards, hey, listen, LA Knight pulls up and LA Knight's talking about how they complain all the time and how he has receipts for every single one of them, you know, especially Bronson Reed, because Bronson Reed, and Logan Paul's choice, like, because what he did to the car is like, yeah, you idiot, you damn right, whatever. And then obviously it led to a 6-man tag. The Usos and LA Knight, which Usos were, by the way, the entire time on the stands just watching, with the fans, against the Vision. So the Vision, have a match. I'm not gonna lie, Logan Paul, Theory, even Bronson, they were all taking the piss at LA Knight during the whole match in the beginning. Then eventually Jey Uso pulled up, and Jey Uso doing Jey Uso things. You know, he's doing Jey Uso things, and listen, eventually Bronson Reed took care of business, pinning Jimmy Uso 1, 2, 3. That's about it. And then Logan Paul tried chatting crap to Michael Cole, took the mic off him, tried chatting crap, and all of a sudden, Mystery Man stomp instantly. Like, you have the camera panning to Logan Paul. Like Michael Cole vision, commentator vision, boom, stomp, blood. You know what I mean? And ran away. So they're still trying to figure out who that is. I think it's Grayson Waller more than ever now. Not gonna lie. Grayson Waller more than ever. And as for what you call it? As for what happened backstage segment, Paul Heyman and Adam Pearce again. Apparently, Adam Pearce has an issue with it as well, and Bronson Reed, I'll deal with it after I qualify to the chamber, be champion, and then he'll be happy. And Adam Pearce like, hopefully. That's actually what happened. Speaking of Adam Pearce, there's a mystery box. Now I'm intrigued to know who's in that mystery box. Is it gonna be Seth Rollins? Is it gonna be Chris Jericho? Braun Breaker? Okay, it's not gonna be Braun Breaker. Are you kidding me now? So yeah. Be intrigued to know who's in that mystery box because that was a big talking point as well. Who's in that mystery box? And it's probably going to be revealed that Elimination Chamber. I think there was a date on it. The date on it was, what was it again? The date on it was 28th of February. I believe that's Elimination Chamber, isn't it? So, yeah, we will find out on that day. We will find out on that day. So yeah, there you go. And he did say send that to SmackDown as well, Adam Pearce. So let's see what Nick Aldis says on SmackDown. Now, let's talk about something else. Yeah, listen, we need to talk about the qualifying match with Asuka and Bayley and Natty. Now, I thought Natty was good during the match. Bayley was all right. Asuka was all right, whatever. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if Asuka winning was the right choice. I think Bayley could have got the nod, in my opinion. Also, here's another question I have. What happened to the whole Asuka and Kairi Sane thing? Because later on backstage, Asuka and Kairi are acting normal. Did I miss anything? That's a logic gap for me, you know. That's a big logic gap. That is a big logic gap. So, yeah, I'm intrigued to see what happens there, man. Because at some point, they gotta get this over with, man. It's getting ridiculous now. You know what I mean? So I did have to talk about that. Maxine and Natalia, or Natty, what they brawled after the match needs to end. Needs to end. As for Bayley, I guess AEW is waiting for you because at this point you're barely gonna get any opportunities. I'm gonna say that from now. But listen, I get why Asuka is to a degree in it because obviously she's one of the top heels right now for the women's division, and they need her, you know, to cause a little bit of madness in that chamber match. But I feel like Bayley could have been the workhorse in it, you know. And they gave it to Asuka, fine, but it is what it is. Whatever. I just feel like Bayley's been overly mistreated over the past year or so. And as for Asuka, listen, I mean, Asuka is a veteran and all that stuff. I get it, but cool. Anyway, we then get to Balor and Punk stuff. Now, in the Balor and Punk stuff, I will say, I thought Punk justified why he wanted to take the match with Finn Balor at Chamber because he wants to give revenge at Finn Balor after what happened, ruining the match with AJ Styles. And also, he feels like he's not jeopardizing anything. He feels like he's being brave, and he feels like he's taking a chance by being a defending champion, which is what others couldn't do. I believe he's what he claimed. I could be wrong. And then Finn Balor interrupted, and then as he interrupted with his theme song, by the way, thank God it's his old theme song. You have Dominic pull up with him, and JD McDonald returning with him. And Finn Balor, long story short, was referring to everything he's done in the past, such as being in the Lucha Libre stuff, the Japan stuff, and everything. And he said he conquered all of them, and he beat Roman Reigns in his debut and stuff. And that all combined, and he became the first Universal Champion. That alone makes him best in the world, unlike Punk. You know? So I found that very interesting. But obviously, Punk was talking about how being surrounded by Judgment Day ain't going to make you the best in the world. I mean, look at, oh my days. I'm back. Sorry, I got interrupted. Anyway, so he's like, look at, funny enough, Dominic is here, but look at Dominic. Look at the idiot. He barely defends the IC championship. You know, wants this fraudulent Mysterio wants to call himself, you know, a top Mysterio, whatever. I forgot what he said. And then he look at JD McDonald, this big bubblehead looking guy, whatever. Which I thought, okay, that was a bit dumb. I'm not gonna lie, that was a bit dumb. And they're like, bubblehead. I'm like, what? You mad? That was a bit mad. And then yeah, listen, at the end, what was it? Punk said, "You have 3 guys over there. Attack me. Go on, attack me." Finn Balor didn't want to do it. He was he was contemplated whether he should do it. He was actually conflicted. He's like, should I do it? Should I do it? But he was contemplating it though. You get me? And then JD McDonough, listen, brother wanted to, but Balor's like, nah. JD McDonough, not JD McDonough. Dominic Mysterio, he didn't do much. But JD McDonough was the one. He really wanted to have a go at CM Punk. Balor said, nah. And then they had an argument backstage. And long story short, Balor's like, I need to do it alone. JD McDonough's like, I'm trying to help you. He's like, if you really care about me, let me do it alone. Long story short. And then obviously Dominic is like thinking about his match in the main event. So we'll get to that. But yeah, this segment, listen, I wouldn't say it caused intrigue or anything like that. But I will say this though. I like the fact that Seth Rollins is transitioning Finn Balor into becoming a babyface slowly but surely. That's one thing I like this segment. This segment told me that Finn Balor is going to become babyface sooner than later because the Judgment Day will backstab him. They will backstab him. So that's what I really took out of this segment more than anything else. And then we get to the Americano stuff. I mean, listen, I found it interesting that El Grande Americano Chad Gable was speaking English, by the way, during the commercial break. And he did intervene in the Ludwig Kaiser against Penta match, which, I mean, it was all right. Nothing special. And Penta gets the dubs. I'm not going to lie. Dominic needs to lose that championship. Whether it's to Penta or Finn Balor, he needs to lose that championship ASAP. Yeah? Because he's not made any use out of that champion. I mean, Punk even said, I think he hasn't even defended the championship in a while. True. You know? So, yeah. But, yeah, that was the match. Then what else do we need to move on to? We need to move on to AJ Lee, Becky Lynch stuff. Now, all I remember in this segment was AJ Lee was talking about how cutthroat this business is, and she realized that after the attack that happened last week when Becky Lynch attacked her while she was helping Maxine Dupree. And then obviously she called out Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch pulled up, and Becky Lynch is like, there's no way you're making this about what I've done, blah, 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 blah. And then she's like, I can't wait to beat your Elimination Chamber in front of your friends and family. And the only reason why I accepted this fight is so that I can embarrass you in front of your friends and family. All that type of stuff. AJ Lee was like, well, listen, did she say that when she was alone? But she was talking about how she had the Divas Championship and had the long reign and made that meaningful. I mean, let's be honest. Let's be honest, AJ. You were useful in a terrible division. Let's not lie now. Yeah, I get what you tried doing there, but no. Anyway, she did say, attack me. I'm even going to put my arm behind me. Attack me. Becky Lynch's like, no, you ain't doing this. We ain't doing this now. I'm going to do an Elimination Chamber because I know you want me to attack you. Then you have an excuse to why I beat you at Chamber. So, yeah, she didn't do it and she left. And obviously she was bragging about how she's the greatest of all time because Sports Illustrated says it. And I forgot all the other, publications saying blah, 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 blah. Typical. Becky Trump, W. I can't lie. She's been cooking lately in general. So, W. Now, let's get to this segment right here. And obviously Liv Morgan, she had an interview with Michael Cole and Dominic pulled up with her. And then she said that she ain't going to give away who she's facing at WrestleMania because she's worked for 10 years just to give away who she's facing too quickly. Then this is Stephanie Vaquer's response. Yeah. And it was in Spanish, so that's why I'm showing the translation. And this was the scene right here. She interrupted. And she said, did you say 10 years of hard work? You working hard? That's bullshit. You've sacrificed nothing. WWE gave you everything. The best training, the best medical, you were given everything. You want to talk about sacrifice? I was born in Chile, a country where wrestling doesn't exist. And now I've traveled all over the world, Japan, Mexico, Latin America, and Europe, and I've conquered everything. You should be ashamed because you need to hide behind the Judgment Day. It's sad because you need to hide behind a man. She's referring to Dominic. But let me tell you something. I went through hell and made him mine. Everything I did was to get to WWE and became champion. This title for me means more than just a title. It's for all the little girls, all the women who never got the opportunity and overcome anyway. Liv, if you pick me, you won't win because I'm going to show you what a real champion is. Now, as much as I want to take the piss out of all of this, because, you know, it is funny. I mean, Liv Morgan fans, you can hold that. You can actually hold that. But I will tell you this, though. In terms of storytelling, I actually like this. Why? Because now Liv Morgan can start being really serious. She can actually use this as fuel to be like, well, when I was given this opportunity, I had to work through so many different other gimmicks and it never worked out. And I kept on getting rejected time and time and time and over again until finally I decided to be myself. And this, and you know where I'm going with this. She can use this to her advantage in the whole story, the whole feud. And that's what I like about this. I also like the fact that Dominic, funny enough, was translating everything to her as she was speaking. It was pretty funny. And he was doing it with such fear. Oh, my days. You know what I mean? So as much as I want to troll Liv Morgan, I actually think this segment could actually help Liv Morgan being believable. Believe it or not, I think this segment could help her being believable. This is one of the greatest things that's happened tonight or last night. Fantastic. And now I'm hoping Liv Morgan steps up after this because I had no faith in Liv Morgan heading into WrestleMania. I really didn't. But if there's a little hope, it's this segment. It's this segment right here. However, it's unlikely that will happen, and Stephanie Vaquer will carry the match. But in terms of storytelling, you got something to tell now. And by the way, this is going to force her to pick Vaquer next week. Good. Hopefully that happens. More than ever. Because Jade Cargill didn't make her go through this trauma this bad. Vaquer did. Big up Stephanie Vaquer, man. Big up Stephanie Vaquer. And you know what, Triple H? If that was your idea, credit where it's due. Credit where it's due. Yeah, I asked what's going on. There's a response right there. So happy days. Happy days. But yeah, Liv Morgan stands. You can still hold that, though. You can still hold that. You get me. Next, AJ Styles. He's going to be returning to Atlanta. Tribute. Again, thank you for everything you've done in WWE. Good luck in TNA if you do go there. I don't know if you will. Cool. Then the main event. Gunther, Dominic, Javon Evans. And I'm happy that Javon Evans won, and I'm going to tell you why. I feel like the way Gunther lost is logical. He lost because Dragon Lee attacked him with the bell, which, listen, the bell hammer was actually a focal point of the match because Dominic was trying to be very sneaky with that, and Gunther stopped him until Dragon Lee attacked him. Dragon Lee got attacked a few weeks ago when he got sleepered onto the apron and he looked like a meme. That was top notch. That was top notch. So, for me to see Dragon Lee attack Gunther and them not getting pinned, whatever, makes sense. Now, Javon Evans. He looked good in the match. I thought Gunther looked. I thought Dominic looked hilarious in the match as well. But with Javon Evans, man, he is a guy. You want to talk about young guys getting opportunity? That's right there. Creating a new start? That's one right there. And Trick Williams going to get added to the mix. You have Bronson Reed added to the mix. That's already 3 future guys right there. You capitalize on these 3 being in the chamber. Capitalize. I beg, please capitalize on these 3 being in it. Yeah. And you have LA Knight in it. You have Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, whatever. That's what's going to be the chamber looks like. Capitalize. All right? Now, with Javon Evans, he'll bring this whole high-flying element, being bouncy, yeah, into the mix in the chamber match, and it would look sick. That's why I like him being in this match. Yeah, and it's a young guy getting an opportunity. Fantastic. Fun fact, he is actually younger than the Elimination Chamber itself. since it was introduced in WWE. That's crazy. That's crazy. So, yeah, man, big up Javon Evans for making it. Listen, I've talked about everything on Monday Night Raw. I gave you my positives. I gave you my negatives. Yeah, about a few things. I thought this show, there was a few progressive stuff. And there was a few things that it has logic gaps. So, I'm going to give this show a 3 out of 10, a 5. I think that's fair. It's above average. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I'm going to end it here. Guys, you know exactly what to do. Subscribe, press alarm bells, like, comment your way. Go check socials, and hopefully you're good wherever you are. Go check the other channels too. Take care, and peace out.